serious when she originally went down.
Nope. Luckily, it's not a season-ending injury or anything like that. So
her possible absence back on the blue line, how does that affect things for you? Plus, you don't have Stalder available to fill that spot if needed.
Yeah, it's a big blow for sure. Not having Stalder, Katka, or potentially Heels, but I think it's a great opportunity for the rest of the team to hold each other accountable, take an opportunity, and raise their game.
Probably a bigger blow right now not to have Stalder back defensively against the Badgers, since the last time you guys played her, you didn't even use her as a forward.
Right. Yep, that was a strategic move back then, and not sure if we were going to do that going into this weekend because we've known that she was going to be gone for so long. But yeah, it's going to be tight defensively. We'll be under a lot of pressure from Wisconsin. Maddie's got to play great, and the D that are playing are going to have to be really good. We need our forwards to be coming back strong and back checking and playing great D zone. So it'll be a real test for us, but I think a great challenge at this point in the season too.
Do you think that Wisconsin series kind of showed that this offense doesn't revolve around Stalder, that there are other pieces that can step up and carry this offense?
Definitely. I think we have a lot of potent scores up front, and I think defensively too. We've talked about that, getting secondary scoring from the back end. I think we have good depth all over the ice, and that's what we need this weekend, is some other people to take this opportunity and step up their game. I think our players are excited for it.
How excited is the team for this series? It's not just 1 versus 2, but I saw the Badgers announce today that both games are sold out as well.
Both games, okay. I knew Saturday's was. It's apparently our players' favorite road trip. Some of their second favorite rinks in the country. So we're excited. We love this trip, and 1 versus 2, sold out crowd, the whole deal. I think it's great for our experience heading into playoff hockey and hopefully a lot more intense games in front of big crowds. So we're excited.
Is this series more about that long-term experience, getting ready for the playoffs and hopefully the NCAA tournament, or do you kind of put that carrot in front of them that if they get 2 wins, they're still in play for the WCHA title?
I think everything to do with the series is what we're thinking about. We want to get as many points out of the weekend as we can for the WCHA title run. We want to constantly get better every day. Every time we get to play, we want to get better and better because we're hoping this season goes for a long time, and we want to prepare for those playoff games down the stretch. So I think our players and staff are well aware of what's on the line and are excited for it.
Who have you decided who gets to slide up and take Laura's spot with Katie and Britt there?
We're actually doing some creative things with the lines. It's still a work in progress.
I believe they've only lost like 3 times since November of 2014 at home there. What makes them so dominant at home, do you think?
That's a good question. You could say the same about us. Our only loss at home was Wisconsin back in November. I think, when you get to sleep in your own bed, play in front of your home crowd, sold out crowds for them, and, play at the place that you practice at every day. Some teams tend to thrive in those environments, and they certainly are good at home. They're good on the road. They've only lost, 3 games all year? 2 games? 2 or 3 games all year, so they're good wherever they play.
Do you take that into effect in the game plan then?
What? How good they are at home?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I think we want to play the best that we can play here, away, whatever time we have to play, in front of whatever kind of crowd we have, a big crowd, small crowd. I think we have to be able to play at a consistently high level if we expect to get to the national tournament and things like that.
Building off of that, when they were here, you got to match your lines with them. So you talked about the opportunity. I mean, pretty much every line I would think is going to get a chance against their top lines. So how important is it that everybody understands kind of the defensive role versus when you were here, maybe you could have a little bit more advantage?
Yeah, that's a great point. The line matching and getting that last change and media timeouts and things like that, they all factor in. And all 3 lines, as you mentioned, are going to have to be ready to play against whoever's on the ice. And and I think, just meeting with our captains prior to this press conference, talking about everybody stepping their game up. We are out some bodies, and we need to accept that and be aware of it, and I think that means everybody needs to elevate their play, because these are huge games for us, and we expect that our team is going to go out there and perform at a high level regardless of who's in the lineup. So I'm excited to see what we get out of these players.
With Maddie, every time we talk to her, she kind of tries to approach every game like she needs to be perfect and play her best game. In a series like this where you kind of need her to be close to perfect, does that help that she doesn't approach these games really any different?
Yeah, I think it's where she thrives. She likes the tight battles. She likes to see a lot of pucks, and in front of a big crowd. I'm sure that's only the icing on the cake. So we expect her to be as consistent as she's been all season, especially the second semester.
#1 team in the nation, sold out crowd. What's your message to your team so that they're not intimidated when they first step out on the ice?
I think, we have confidence because we beat these guys before. And I think we're excited to maybe have the target on somebody else's back versus ours. Those games like North Dakota, Ohio State, Bemidji, a lot of the games this year, we're getting the best out of other teams because they want to take us down. So hopefully now we'll get the best out of us because we're trying to take #1 down.
Is this still a prove-it kind of moment for this team? I mean, you've beaten Wisconsin, you've beaten Minnesota. I mean, you've kind of proven everything you need to prove so far, but is this still a team that has a lot more that they think they need to prove moving forward?
I think you have to play with that mentality all the time. Continue to prove people wrong. Continue to prove that you belong. I think, given the different roster look for us, I think it's a great opportunity, like I said, to maybe show a different style of hockey out there, more balance, maybe more defensive, gritty, really smart, and on one of the biggest stages that you can get in the regular season. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Does Wisconsin do media timeouts?
Only if they're on TV, I think, so I'm not expecting them.
Anything to say about Brickelick that hasn't already been said?
She's awesome. Our fearless captain. I know, Stalder's been getting a lot of the recognition for her offensive output, but I'd say Brick is involved in nearly all of those goals that Stalder's scoring. She's doing a lot of the little things, gets us out of tons of jams in the D zone. Just a really smart, gritty player. She's gotten so much stronger and tough, and the fact that she has that 19-game point scoring streak just surpassed Carolyn Ouellette, one of the best, if not the best, ever to wear UMD jerseys. Record is really something, and she deserves all the accolades that she gets.